Hey, what is up, mortals? It is. Welcome to part 5 season 3 of What If Deku Was a Dragon Slayer. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So, we begin. The test of courage was underway at the training camp. Class 1B had already dispersed into the woods. The 1A students had paired off. Wendy had been paired with Yaoyorozu. The two girls had already been sent into the woods, along with half of 1A. Many of the students' screams could be heard in the distance. Midoriya had been teamed with Kaminari. The two boys were waiting for their turn to enter the woods when a strange collection of scents hit the Dragon Slayers' noses. Kaminari spoke in a disgusted tone. What the hell is that smell? It is burning my nose. I smell smoke, but I also smell a weird vapor. Suddenly, a bright blue light glowed in the distance and a purple haze appeared over the forest. Many of the pro-heroes did not know what was going on. Out of nowhere, 3 villains appeared. A man with scaly skin spoke in a dramatic tone. Prepare to die, false heroes. My name is Spinner. I am a member of the Vanguard Action Squad of the League of Villains. This is my teammate Magna. We are here to avenge the hero killer Stain. The Pussycats Mandalay and Tiger tried to connect with their teammates Ragdoll and Pixie Bob, but they could not get a hold of them. Magna overheard the two and replied, "Are you trying to contact the other kiddies? I am afraid they are out of commission." Sweethearts, Tiger got a furious look on his face. He screamed in an equally enraged tone. What do you do, villain? I knocked out the one in blue myself. The one in yellow was already out when I found her. I hope they don't get caught in the fire. The muscular villain gave a cruel chuckle at his comment. The thought of his teammates being hurt sent Tiger into a rage. The stretchy man launched a fearsome assault against the magnetic villain. Spinner went to attack Mandalay. The lizard-faced villain raised a huge knife sword over his head to strike down the leader of the Pussycat. Fortunately, this attack was intercepted by Jello. The man was glowing with a yellow light. He caught the blade in one hand. The blue-haired man spoke in a calm tone. He never took his eyes off the enemy. Mandalay, get the students to safety. I will help Tiger disable these villains. Mandalay then spoke to the students. I need all of you to run toward the main building. Your teacher will be there, and it should be safe. Midoriya then realized something. Mandalay, where is Koda? The brunette looked around and realized the small boy was nowhere to be seen. Damn it, there is no way to know where he got off to. Kaminari spoke up. Mandalay, let me and Midoriya go. We can find him by scent. Your teacher would have my head if I let you go off on your own. Besides, we don't know how many villains there are. Jello spoke up as he deflected Spinner's attacks. I know Urza better than anyone. She would not be happy if her students got attacked. However, she would be more upset if we lost the life of an innocent child. The two boys are very capable of defending themselves. Plus, we need someone to gather the students in the forest. Let them go, Mandalay. The cat-eared hero greeted her teeth. Okay, but stay clear of the villains and find your classmates and Koda. I will use my telepath to inform everyone of what is going on. The two boys nodded and ran off into the forest. Jello saw the two boys out of the corner of his eye. The man could not help but see both of their masters in them. Both ran into certain danger with no hesitation to help their friends. The two acted like true members of Fairy Tale Wood. Midoriya and Kaminari ran at top speed through the dark woods. Kaminari made a curious remark. You know we cannot stay clear of the villains, even with our senses. They could attack us from nowhere. I know that, my friend. We'll just have to ask for forgiveness later. Just like in Hasu. The blonde cracked his smile. Okay, have you got the kids scent? It is hard with all of the smoke and vapor in the woods. But yeah, the greenette pointed ahead. He is near that rock outcropping over there. But before we deal with that, we need to get to Wendy. I know you two have gotten closer lately, but she can take care of herself. I know that, but she is the class rep. She can also help find the others. Her nose is as good as ours. After all, good idea. Where is she? She is between us and the outcropping. If we keep running this way, we should find her. We can tell her what is going on and then go after Koda. I like the sound of that plan. With those comments, the two boys picked up their speed as they ran into the night. Wendy and Momo were caught in the middle of two terrible situations. They had a poison gas cloud to one side and a giant fire on the other. Wendy cast a protection spell, and a dome of swirling wind appeared. That should protect us for a few minutes. Momo scanned the area and came to a shocking conclusion. Those flames are too high to be natural. Someone must have set them. Wendy then added, that cloud is moving strangely. It is not spreading out like smoke or vapor should. It seems to be swirling around a central point, like a hurricane. How do you know that? Just trust me. Suddenly, a giant Namu appeared out of the woods. The creature attacked Wendy's air barrier, but the structure held. The girls wondered how they were going to handle the monster, but they never got the chance to plan. Midoriya and Kaminari jumped into the clearing and struck the Nama with powerful punches coated in their elemental energies. This sent the brain-headed monstrosity flying off into the distance. "Are you girls all right?" Wendy lowered her barrier and spoke. "We are fine. Thanks for the assist." "Izuku," Momo interjected. "Do you two know what is going on?" The boys told their classmates about the villain attack. They then told Wendy and Momo that they needed to gather the members of Class 1A and 1B in order to get them to safety. "Wouldn't it be better if you two did that? I mean, with your ability to track scent and all." "No, Momo. The boys are right. My healing powers and tracking ability make me the better choice to tend to our classmates." Momo got a thoughtful look on her face. "You're right. I will use my power to help you overcome any unexpected occurrences." "Good. What about you two?" "We are on our way to find Koda. He is not in the path of the fire or the vapor. But we cannot leave him out there. We have no idea of how many villains there are." "You're right. Go both of you. Momo and I will handle things here. Be careful, both of you." What he said. With that, Midoriya and Kaminari took off again. After a few minutes, the boys had reached the rock outcropping. Koda was standing in front of a massive figure. As the two got closer, they saw that the figure was a large muscular man with a fake eye. Wearing a red muscle shirt, black pants, and boots, the man raised his right arm to deliver a powerful blow against the small child. Without a word, the two dragon slayers launched their dragon roar attacks at the man. This sent him back several feet. This allowed Izuku and Denki to place themselves between Koda and the man. Koda got a shocked look on his face. "What are you two doing here?" "We came to save you, Koda." The dark-haired child had no words. He figured that no one knew where he was. But somehow these two had found him. Midoriya stared down the large man. Without taking his eyes off the villain, he said to Kaminari, "Denki, take Koda and get out of here. You don't plan on taking this guy on, do you, Midoriya? He looks dangerous." "I know, but it is the only way I can think of to get Koda to safety. He is the priority here. We can't let him get hurt. If we both fought the guy, then Koda could get caught in the middle. If we grabbed him and tried to run, I got the feeling this guy would catch us." "You have a point. So the best option is for one of us to stay and fight. That is why I want you to go. You are faster than I am, but I am more durable. I get the feeling this guy uses Burt force. I will last longer." "The plan makes sense. But I don't want you to sacrifice yourself." A fierce smile broke out across Midoriya's face. "I have no plan on dying here, my friend. Trust me." Kaminari nodded to his friend. He picked up Koda and ran back toward camp. "Hey, I know you. You are the one of the targets that the boss said we could kill." The man flexed his arms, and his muscles expanded. "Before I do you in, could you tell me where a kid named Bakugo would be?" "So, you are targeting students. Why am I not surprised?" If Izuku didn't miss his guess, these guys were working for Shigaraki. The thin man probably figured he could turn Bakugo because of his fierce nature. The green tea knew that would never happen, despite his villainous demeanor. Izuku knew that his rival wanted to be a hero just as badly as he did. "Don't get so serious, String Bean. Let's have some fun before you die. Answer me one question. Are you the villain that killed the heroes called Water Hose?" This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the services Skillshare provides, you can get access to many in-depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with your creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you learn how to write scripts or edit audio? Skillshare has you covered, and with our link, you can have a 14-day free trial. So what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get 14 days worth of classes free. Link in description below. That kid asked the same thing. Yeah, I was. They were tougher than I thought. That is why I have this false eye. But they still weren't enough to stop me. The blonde giant laughed maniacally. Ha, 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 ha. Midoriya clenched his fist so tight that his hands started to bleed. The boy's body became enveloped in flames. His face was a mask of seething anger. "You killed the boy's parents, ruined his life. And you are happy. What is wrong with you? Don't get high and mighty. I wanted to kill people. And that is what I did. It was their fault for not being able to stop me. And you know what? You won't be able to stop me either." The man, whose name was Muscular, charged at Midoriya. His body became wrapped in muscle fibers. The large blonde hit Midoriya with a punch powerful enough to crack solid rock. Midoriya just stood there, seething with anger. The punch hit him like a freight train, but the boy did not move an inch. The force kicked up a huge cloud of dust. When the dust cleared, Midoriya stood there, with his hand out, holding back the strike from Muscular. This surprised Muscular. No one had ever blocked one of his punches with such ease. He wondered what this kid was made of. Then the villain got a closer look at the green ant as the smoke cleared. "What happened to your skin, kid?" Midoriya looked down at his free hand. The skin had become scaly. The teen could feel that it was also firmer and more dense than usual. In fact, his flesh now looked like dragon scales. This must be dragon force. Master Laxus was right. I feel way more powerful. What are you talking about, kid? You sound crazy. Midoriya tightened his grip on the villain's hand. This made the behemoth wince in pain. It is nothing. Just know that this change means that you are going to pay for what you did to Kota's parents. Midoriya summoned his fire to his hands. The teen noticed that his flames looked different. Instead of being red and orange in color, his flames now were a bright silver. The name of these flames appeared in the mind of the Dragon Slayer. Let's see how you like my flames of the righteous. The two combatants spoke no more. Muscular threw a punch with his free hand. Midoriya jumped out of the way. The boy then attacked the giant in his blind spot. The green teen delivered a powerful fire dragon iron fist attack against the villain. This burned the muscle fibers on Muscler's body. Izuku was surprised at how powerful his attack was. These new flames were way more powerful. He had used more power than he thought he had. But in this situation, he knew that was not a bad thing. He needed to finish this fight quickly. His friends needed him. No telling what was happening to them now. But he would have to finish the enemy in front of him first. The animate boy channeled his power into his mouth. The boy yelled at the top of his lungs, "Fire Dragon's Roar." A giant silver fireball erupted from the teen's mouth. It impacted the large villain and lit up the night. For a brief moment, the forest below the outcropping and the surrounding area was lit up like it was the middle of the day. As the attack ended, the light dissipated and revealed the villain. Muscular was lying on the ground, his eyes a blank white. The man's body was covered in burns and ash. This muscle's fibers had retreated back into his body. He was laid out on the ground and looked like he got hit by a train. Midoriya was amazed at his new power. His new flames were way more powerful than he thought. His normal flame attacks would not have caused that kind of damage. He would have to be careful how he used this new power. If he had unleashed that attack in the forest, it would have burned it to the ground. Suddenly, the dragon teen felt lightheaded. He only realized now that the fight was over that he had used a lot of magical power. His body was starting to feel heavy and tired. The greenette quickly reminded himself that his friends were still in danger. He needed to go help them. With his resolve reignited, the green-eyed boy took a whiff of the air. He could tell that Kaminari and Kota had gotten nearly back to camp. He could also smell Master Scarlet heading toward Kaminari and Kota. That calmed the teen's mind just a little. He then continued to search for one specific scent. After a moment, he found it. He then took off running toward the scent of nitro sweat. Hang on, Kakin. I won't let these villains take you. In the woods, Bakugo and Todoroki were being attacked by a villain with blade teeth. The teens were also trying to defend several other students that had been knocked out by the gas cloud. This made it hard for the pair to take the offensive. This wore on Bakugo's nerves. The two had been lucky to avoid the gas cloud. They did not know why. But the cloud had dissipated a few moments ago. We need to attack this guy directly, icy hot. Bakugo just barely dodged a wave of blade teeth. Todoroki created an ice wall to protect them from the blade villain. The teen then said in a stoic voice, "Don't you think I know that, Bakugo? The problem is this guy is really good at using his quirk in battle. He makes the villains at the USJ look like preschoolers. Plus, you can't use your explosions and I can't use my fire in the forest. If we did, we could set the forest on fire. I know that, but if we keep this up, then we will be sliced and diced." Suddenly a voice shouted, "Lightning Dragon's Heavenward Halberd." A massive electric spear flew through the forest and hit the villain directly in the mouth. The villain's body raised and he screamed in pain. The light from the attack was blinding. Bakugo and Todoroki had not seen where the attack came from, but they knew who had used it. After the attack concluded, the two teens saw that the villain had been knocked out cold. His teeth, the source of his power, had also been knocked out by the powerful attack. Bakugo and Todoroki also saw that Denki Kaminari was standing behind the villain in an attack position. "You moron. I was just about to do that. Maybe Bakugo, but I did it. So, you are welcome." Kaminari gave his bombastic classmate a thumbs up. This seemed to enrage Bakugo more. "Thank you, Kaminari. We would have been finished without your help. Speak for yourself." Icy hot. Bakugo turned around and faced away from the electricity user. "Thank you all the same." It was then that Wendy and a group of students came into the clearing. The blue-haired girl set to work healing the injured students in the clearing. It turned out that Wendy and Momo ran into Kendo and Tetsu while searching through the woods. Momo gave the two gas masks and sent them off to deal with the source of the poison fog. The three boys were impressed by Wendy's planning and leadership during this crisis. She had come a long way from the timid and frightened girl she was on the first day of UA. She was now a leader of future heroes. Meanwhile, Urza had returned to the main camp building. She had taken responsibility for Koda when she met Kaminari in the woods. She then sent the blonde teen back out onto the battlefield to help his classmates. Most students would have questioned a teacher sending a student back into harm's way. Kaminari knew better than that. He had no wish to be on the receiving end of one of Urza's swords. Urza spoke to Koda in a calm but stern voice. I need you to go inside, Koda. The teacher of 1B and several students are there. You should be safe. I must rejoin the battle. The young boy did as he was told. No need to leave Titania. There is about to be a battle right here. Urza knew this voice. Even if she lived another 100 years, she would never forget that voice. The voice of the beast who had destroyed her world and had taken the lives of so many of her family. The sound of this voice made her blood boil with rage. Urza's face became a mask of hatred. Her voice screamed with an uncharacteristic passion. Acknowledge it. It is not enough that you destroyed one world. You now have to destroy another. Power corrupts. These quirks have made these people just as destructive as the dragons of our world. Then all deserve to perish. We won't let that happen again, you monster. We will always stand against you. You mean your beloved fairytale, as I recall. They did not fare very well against me. Most fell to my claws. This world has many heroes that will fight by our side. We will find a way to end your reign of destruction. Unlikely. Now that I have this new power, I wanted you to be the first one to see it. Half-dragon. Acknowledger raised his head to the sky and inhaled. Suddenly streams of colored energy flowed toward the beast from the surrounding area. Some of these streams came from inside the building. After a few minutes, the scaly man had consumed all of the energy. What was that? It wasn't magic. That was the magic of this world. I believe they call them quirks. I just devoured the powers of every quirk in the surrounding area. They were mighty tasty. Urza's face went from enraged to panicked. You couldn't possibly have that power. Unless, a dark smile crossed Acknowledge's face. Unless I managed to take the quirk of this world's most powerful villain. The man gave a cruel chuckle. Well, that is just what I did. And the funny thing is, he was the one who came to me. That was really considerate of him. He probably figured he could control me. Oh, how wrong he was. Is there no end to your desire for destruction? No, all worlds will fall to me. It is only a matter of time. And with the powers of this world, I will achieve my goal. Suddenly the man transformed into a large black dragon. The monster's body glowed with a strange dark light. The creature then roared with and released a powerful wave of darkness that engulfed the area for miles. Urza didn't have time to react. The dark light enveloped her before she could even think of requiting. Her last thought was, I must protect my students. Urza awoke in a field of green grass. As her vision was clear, she found herself standing before a building that looked like her old guild hall. This can't be. It was destroyed along with the rest of Earthland. This must mean that I am dead. Urza's eyes filled with tears. She figured that this must be heaven, but she did not feel worthy of it. She had failed to save her home world. And now she failed to save her new home. And worst of all, she had let her students die. She had been useless. A soft voice spoke. Dry your eyes, Urza. You have not failed yet, and you are not dead. Urza turned toward the voice. She was surprised by what she saw. It was a young girl with long blonde hair. Master Mavis. What are you doing here? I thought you were dead. Reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. If I am alive, then what about my students and the other heroes at the camp? They are all safe. And they are waiting for you. Follow me. Mavis led Urza into the guild hall. All of the students from Class A and B were there, along with the Jello, Laxus, Lucy, and the other instructors. A knot of guilt and concern untied in Urza's guts. She was glad to see everyone was safe. Midoriya, Wendy, and Kaminari approached their teacher. Midoriya asked the crimson-haired woman a set of questions in a quizzical tone. Master, where are we, and who is that? The green teen pointed at Mavis. Before Urza could form the words, Mavis broke in with an answer. I will answer the second question first. My name is Avis Vermilion. It is nice to meet everyone. The young woman spoke in a super cheery voice. As for the second question, that is a long story. Listen up, everyone, while I explain. Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoyed. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description. So feel free to check out all the other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video. So goodbye and have a divine day.